Good morning. Welcome in. SEC Insider Hit brought to you by Drago's Seafood Restaurant and Oyster Bar. Charbroiled oysters, gumbo, and their fried catfish po' boy is delicious, too. They've obviously got cold beer and a full bar. It's on the property of the Hilton Jackson, County Line Road. Drago's Charbroiled Oysters. We're live in the Bank Plus studio. You can watch the show right now on Facebook. Search the Out of Bounds Show. We welcome in our friend, the legend, out of Mississippi State, also with the Washington football team. He is Fred Smoot on the Modelo guest line. Smoot, good morning, buddy.
Hey, how you doing, brother? And by the way, I love Drago there every time I hit Jackson, and I thought they was charred grilled oysters with Parmesan and oil.
Well, I think you're right, actually. I think you're right. And that hey, I can smash some oysters there. Next time you're in town, I'm taking you. You know, when he big timed us last time, Blake. He had to go hang out with Dion. All right. So he had to go hang out with Primetime. I offered, all right, and no, I'm just Fred Smoot was actually kind enough to come in studio last time he was here seeing family. But then he big timed us and he had to go see some guy named Deion Sanders over.
Yeah, I heard.
And Blake.
I heard he was scared to race me.
Hey. Well, here's the thing about it. I got to go see my boy Prime because, you forget that when I made it to Washington, he gave me number 21. So I got a chance to not only learn from my idol, I got stuff handed down to me from my idol, and he was the reason I wore number 2 at Mississippi State.
Dude, Smoot, when you and I were growing up, he was so good at Florida State. And then he was so, Falcons, Cowboys, 49ers, and the Braves. I mean, the guy is just I agree with you, man. I loved him as a kid when he was playing for Bobby Bell.
He changed my position as cornerback and turned it into a glorified, glorious position.
Yes.
And before that, we had guys. We had Willie Browns. We had the Darryl Greens of the world. But we never had a showman like Deion Sanders. Like his showmanship and what he brought to the table, he rubbed off on a whole couple of decades of DBs after himself.
No question, because we really weren't talking about shutting down one side of the field until Deion emerged as the top corner and a star in the NFL, Smoot.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Like I said, he changed the position financially. He changed the position as we are the game changers. Before the end, it was all hype about the linebackers and the defensive linemen. The DBs, we got love, but we didn't get a lot of love. But we still had to chase the Jerry Rices of the world, the Andre Reeds of the world. And he said, no, if they are great athletes, we're a step greater.
Yeah, that guy could flat out play. I guess Blake will forgive Smoot for one-upping us and going to hang out with his buddy Primetime. We're okay with that. Fred Smoot on the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. How does it feel your alma mater won a national championship? How about Tanner Allen and that crew winning a national championship in baseball?
I was just about to say, we got to talk about the elephant in the room and the fact that, Ole Miss don't know nothing about national art championships. And right now, when it comes to the class of the SEC, when it comes to the class of the world, when it comes to college baseball, it's only one team that stands alone, and that's the Mississippi State Bulldogs. And you know what? The way they did it, I felt it was special, the way they did it, especially the way they dominated in their last game.
Exactly. Yeah, they dominated Vanderbilt, who had emerged as, the powerhouse in college baseball. They played for it 4 times, won it twice. And you're right, Game 2 and Game 3, they absolutely dominated Vandy. And, man, Tanner Allen's a baller. Will Bednar threw 3 times at the College World Series, and he was just drafted in the first round, Smoot. Sunday?
I seen.
Yeah.
I seen, and I was wondering why it wasn't more Bulldogs that was getting drafted early. I knew Vanderbilt pitcher. I knew he was gonna go very early because he's something. He got some tricks in his bag. But I thought we was gonna get more guys in the first round.
It's a weird year in that Bednar is the only first rounder, and then Tanner Allen went in the 4th, which is in baseball still really good. And then you had a couple of pitchers go in the, 4th, 5th? 5th, Blake. Yeah, 5th round.
Mm-hmm.
So, but, man, Bednar went 14th to the – where did Bednar go to, Blake?
San Francisco. He's the highest drafted right-handed pitcher in state history.
Right-handed pitcher.
Correct.
Okay. So Will Clark was the number 2 pick in the draft.
He's the highest pick of any position, period.
And then you've had some left-handers or position
I'd have
players.
to go back and look at the left. But Bednar's the highest drafted right-handed pitcher out of Mississippi State.
How about this, Smoot? Will Bednar's brother is on the Pittsburgh Pirates team. He's already in Major League Baseball. Isn't that cool?
Man, that's cool. And that just shows you got to get a praise to the mom and the daddy for making sure to keep these guys. They seen they had the talent. They nurtured the talent. And usually, like, if the big brother does it, the little brother does it just a little bit better. Mm-hmm. And that's just the way sports goes. And y'all think that we're not going to be – don't think this is probably our last time getting that championship in baseball, because we just signed 2 5-star players that's going to play both football and baseball. So the domination will continue.
Well, I think Mississippi State is going to continue to be on a roll in baseball and go to the College World Series a lot, which is what you got to do, obviously, to eventually win it or win another one. Fred Smoot on the Out of Bounds Show. How about your favorite quarterback and my favorite quarterback in the stadium for Game 2 and Game 3 in Dak Prescott?
Hey, you got to love that, man. That's what quarterbacks do. Quarterbacks are ambassadors. And Dak has been a great ambassador for Mississippi State. He's been a great ambassador for the SEC. And, you know, I was happy to see him there. I heard Chris Jones was there, but he just didn't get no camera time. Dak got all the camera time.
Well, I'll tell you this, Smoot. Game 1 of the national championship, MSU lost, but Game 1, I sat beside Jeffrey Simmons for a few innings. Super nice young man. I mean, we all know how talented he is. But, low-key, didn't make it about him. I mean, the guy was just locked in, knew all about, the team, Tanner Allen, and so on. But it was cool to be around Jeffrey. And then for, like you said, Chris Jones, for Dak to be there, it's well, and you know this, Smoot. MSU didn't do a great job bringing you guys back for years, and now all of a sudden they've caught lightning in a bottle, and Jeffrey Simmons, Elton Jenkins, Chris Jones, Dak, and several others come back a good bit, and I guess that spring, summer when y'all have a little bit of time on that NFL calendar. And that's great for Starkville, man. And Jeffrey just did a camp in Starkville over the weekend.
He just did the camp. And I think that starts with the coach. Everything starts with the coach, because when Jackie Sherrill was there, you saw J.J. come back. You saw me come back. You saw all of us come back. And then we had a little dead period in there until Mullen got there.
Right.
And when Mullen got there, that's when it got re-energized to the aims of Jackie Sherrill, and now the guys are back in Stark Vegas and back around. And people don't understand how much that affects recruiting. Like, it might don't look like it affects recruiting, but when a guy comes there and sees Dak on campus, that helps him say, you know what, I want to be a part of this family. And it is very important. I think the coaching, the gap in coaching between Sherrill and Mullen robbed us of almost a decade of players that haven't been back since they left school.
True. It is good. Other teams in the SEC have had players, hanging out. These guys are buying condos. Of course, Starkville is so much different than when you and I were there. There's actually more stuff to do. And so now, you've got guys buying homes or condos or whatever because they want to spend several weeks out of the year there, which is really cool. All right, now let's talk some ball. Fred Smoot on the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone and the Modelo guest line. Aaron Rodgers. Now you're all in to what's going on in the NFC. You've been a part of the Washington football team broadcast for many years. What do you think's going to happen July 27th? Do you think Aaron Rodgers is at practice? Or do you think he continues to I guess it'll be official a holdout by then. How do you see this playing out, Smoot?
Well, I had to take everything back to relationships. And, when you get a relationship that's going through its hard times, its ups and downs, you don't know how bad it is and you don't know how good it is. But I do know this. When it's time to play football players play. And the one thing I know he's not going to do is leave almost $30 million on the table. He's not going to do that. So now we're looking at the last year of the relationship between Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Because when you see somebody, you're like, yeah, this couple right here, they only got a couple of years left. They know where they at, and I think he know where he's at. So I think this is his exit party. Now, me, myself, I like to do math. That's the one thing I know about Green Bay. They've had almost 30 consecutive years of Pro Bowl Hall of Fame quarterbacking. Bart Starr left in his 16th year. Brett Favre left in his 16th year. And this is Aaron Rodgers' 16th year. So what I'm saying is there's something there that they like to turn the page after 14, 15 years with these great quarterbacks and kind of push them out of there. And I don't think Aaron wants to be pushed out of there, and Aaron still has a lot of football left. Like I said, it's one of those relationships we're watching it deteriorate in front of our eyes, but this is his last year in Green Bay.
What's that like when you played at Green Bay and in Lambeau, and it's the smallest market in the NFL, and you made many road trips into New York and Chicago and big, cities and metropolitan areas. What's it like when you fly in to Green Bay and I guess stay at some hotel? Like, tell me what is that like when you play in Green Bay at Lambeau?
All right, from the landing, it's different. All right, when you land, the airport looks like Megas Evers Airport in Jackson. All right, it's very small, not a lot of people there. And once you go to your hotel, you realize, all right, we're not in D.C. anymore because your hotel is how should I say, 1990-ish? They don't have a lot of upscale hotels there. Now, what the magical part about Green Bay, once you get up there next morning and it's time to go to the stadium and the bus start pulling through a neighborhood and you wonder why we in a neighborhood. And then when you bust this left at the end of this corner and this big gigantic stadium is just sitting here in the middle of this neighborhood and all the history that goes with Green Bay, that's when you kind of get in of the history and everything that comes with it. When you drive into the stadium and you realize no gas stations are open, no grocery stores are open, no churches are open, the entire city is at the game. So if you're not at the game for that 4 hours, you can't even pump gas. Right? That's how much this city dominated by football. So when you see this and you see the fans sitting in each other's front yard, so they don't even park in the parking lot. They use each other's front yard in this little neighborhood to park cars. And they walk to the stadium. So it really has a college feel to it, but the history that come with it, and that's why I think we'd be so in awe just playing on that field because of the history.
That's so cool. Fred Smoot on the Modelo guest line. So, Smoot, did you ever play there late in the year, like December? Did you ever play in a super cold game at Lambeau?
When I was in Minnesota, we played there, and, you play your division games late in the year, so we played there in December. And that day, I remember coming out for pregame, and I was like, I got to get me a new job. Like, this got to stop. Like, listen to me. Ain't nothing like it being 10 degrees, 5 degrees out there, a teammate step on your cleat, and you can hear your toe bust. Like, it's hard to put into words how it feels just to tackle somebody when it's their coat. And that's always been an advantage for the Green Bay Packers because they're not going to wear any tight. They're going to wear short sleeve. They are prepared for it when the other team, we are not prepared for it. And that's why one time before we played them, all the defense, me, Pat Williams, all of us got together, and we were like, man, whoever get the ball and get in the end zone, we're going to Lambeau Leap. So I ended up picking the ball off Brett Favre, and I went Lambeau Leap, and I got nothing but a face full of Milwaukee's best. For the rest of the game, I literally smelled like beer for the rest of the game.
Oh, that's fantastic. I did not realize that you did that. So you decided to leap into the stands, and they poured beer all
Yes,
over
I
you.
picked it. Yes, I wanted the Lambeau Leap, but I ain't never been a Green Bay Packer. So I said the only way for me to do it is when I get in the end zone, just go for it. And I ran and I jumped. And by the time I got halfway up there and I'm in the air, a Green Bay Packer fan just stiff arms me to death to try to get me not to jump in the stands. And I held on just long enough. And that's when I got out of the beer pole, though.
Okay, what's colder? Or what was a colder game for you, depending on when you played there? Soldier, because man, the NFC North just sounds miserable. But was it Soldier Field? And because I know the wind can get serious off the lake and everything in Chicago. Was it Soldier Field or was it Lambeau, Smoot?
I think when it comes to the coldest, it was Lambeau. But when I say the oddest cold game I ever played was we played a game in New York with the Giants in December. It was the last game of the year. And it snowed so much that the Giants let the fans in the stadium free if they would shovel the field in the parking lot in the stands. And so the stands were full of people that got in free, but it was like 10 inches of snow that day. So they had to shovel the seats out and stuff just to sit there. And, of course, they did, and they enjoyed it. Once the alcohol got to flowing, you would have never known. It was 20 degrees out there.
Hey, did you like playing at noon? Well, I guess it was 1 o'clock for you sometimes, depending on where you were in your career. But did you like playing the noon/1 o'clock game or the 3 o'clock/4 o'clock game, depending on if you were Eastern Central? But you know where I'm going. Which game did you like better? Which time slot?
I like the 1 o'clock game because the 1 o'clock game to me has a college feel to it. And we're used to getting up and we're used to playing early. And it gives me I get to go play a game. And after 4 o'clock, 4:30, I'm off. I got the rest of the day to go watch football, to go get something to eat, to do other things. Now, what you do hate is when you have that late night Sunday night game. You got to literally sit in the hotel all day long.
Miserable.
And it ain't like they start meetings later. We literally still got to wake up at 8:39 for our first meetings and stuff. And now you just got to sit around and get lethargic. It would take me a while to warm up for those late games where I come out for the 1 o'clock game and I'm just ready to go. It's like football for breakfast. Like I'm just ready to go. But just sitting around all day, my body kind of got heavy sometimes.
Oh, Smoot on the Out of Bounds show in the Modelo guest line. Okay, so hold on. Evidently, I didn't catch this. Your interception was a pick six on Favre. Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that one of your best interceptions of your career?
I think the best interception of my career in the pros probably was off of Matt Hasselbeck. Seattle came to Washington, and it was fourth quarter, like 40 seconds left, and we was up by 2. They was trying to get in field goal position. And Darryl Jackson ran like a 15-yard comeback route on the sideline, and literally it tipped off in his hand, and it took me like a tenth of a second to catch it and stay in bounds. You got to check it out. You can check it out on YouTube. And it was a crazy interception, but I think just how quick I had to react and how quick I had to stay in bounds, I had to make sure my body was limp. I think that was the best interception I think I ever had.
Did you make sure to let Favre know that you had,
Well, he go the funny thing with me and Favre, right? We used to talk trash to each other all during the game and all off season because Bus Cook was our agent, right? So Bus used to throw these parties for us every year, and we'll go to Hattiesburg, and me and Brett will get into it, drinking beer. We'll get into it. He was like, I'm gonna come at you. I'm gonna come at you 20 times next time I see you. And I'm like, come on. The only way I can pick you off again is for you to throw at me. So we just literally do it constantly, and he would just keep throwing at me, and I would just keep picking him off.
I love it. Hey, let's switch gears. What's on the schedule today for Fred Smoot?
I just left Washington, D.C. on the southeast with Mayor Bowser and Darrell Green. We did things to make sure the rest of the people getting vaccinated. Me and Darrell Green just volunteered for that. Now I am headed to a business meeting, and I have to film a show later on today. So I'm in full go, man. You know, that's what I do. I keep everything moving, and I keep myself going. That's what you got to do when you retire. When you retire and you're still 42, you got to find some stuff to fill in the day, you know?
No doubt. I'm glad you're staying busy, and you got a great gig or several gigs. All right, well, good. I didn't know if you were just laying around the couch, you know, hanging out, watching YouTube videos of you intercepting – NFL QBs, or if you were actually out and about and you've already done some things today and you got more things on your plate. I'm proud of you.
Yes, I do. I got a couple stories that I've been writing right now that I'm finishing up that I might be sending to maybe get published as a book, or maybe actually turn into a movie script. So I like to write also. You know, so much stuff goes on in my head. I like to put some of it on paper, you know.
Well, you need to do that. And two, you're a Renaissance man, you know? You're a man of many talents.
Oh, yeah. See, I'm not great at no one thing, but I'm good at a little bit of everything.
Yes. I think it's a great way to frame it up. All right, buddy. Well, we look forward to talking to you a lot during football season, and I'm glad things are going well, and we'll catch up soon, okay?
All right, that sounds good. Now, I have to ask you this before you get off this phone, Bo-Bow.
Okay, buddy.
Hey, what do you think? I want you to tell me now what the record of Ole Miss going to be, and I'll tell you where I think my Bulldogs going to finish at.
I think Ole Miss can go 8. Hold on. I'm looking at the schedule right here. At Bama. I think they can go 8-4, 9-3. Corral's the real deal, Smoot.
That sounds pretty.
He is.
No, he is.
He's a real deal, man.
And you know what? Kiffin can put the ball. He can put the ball in the end zone.
No question.
The question with Ole Miss is, are y'all ever gonna start to play defense?
They will be now. How much I don't know. Okay, but they will be. Well, they have to be because they can't be any worse. But they will be better. But here's where the game's going now, Smoot. I mean, if you can throw up 40, you're going to be in damn near every game and have a chance to, win almost every game. So I think Kiffin and Corral are going to go crazy. Now, all right, I got 30 seconds. What do you think about the Hail State Bulldogs?
All right, Mississippi State 10-2, easily. 10-2. I'm telling you that now. 10-2, and we might be headed to a national championship. Depends on who them two lost it to.
We'll leave it there. Fred Smoot in the house on the Modelo guest line. Be good, Smoot. Thank you, buddy.
All right, bound.
Fred Smoot on the Out of Bounds show. If you missed any of the show, please go to Apple Podcast and search the Out of Bounds show. And one of Smoot's favorite places to go when he's in Jackson, Drago's Seafood Restaurant and Oyster Bar on the property of the Hilton Jackson. Thanks for listening to the show. We'll see you tomorrow.